Hi there, Melody here, and welcome to the Tea for Travel podcast right here on House of Hosting Heaven. I have another interesting video from TikTok because you guys know, man, TikTok is now one of my favorite platforms ever. If you don't follow me on TikTok, I don't know what you're doing. Follow us, House of Hosting Heaven. But anyways, right now, let's focus on this particular video right here. If you're single, I would consider this really useful singles advice on relationships. If you're in a situationship, if you're in a friendship, I would still consider this very good advice. There's some buzzwords of late in relationships that you should just really listen in and pay attention to, because if you hear some of these buzzwords in relationships, listen, explore other options, get into the place of prayer, really ask God concerning this relationship. Watch this and I will be back with the rest of my commentary.
I don't want to be with a man who wants me because I'm a strong woman, because I'm independent, because I'm resilient. Those are big red flag buzzwords to me. I'm not strong. I'm going to need to lean on and depend on people for support. And it's going to bother me and hurt me. As far as independent, if I'm with you and I'm doing everything by myself, I'll just stay by myself. And as far as being resilient, I'm not your punching bag. I don't bounce back. Once you disrespect me or wrong me, yeah, that's pretty much a done deal. Another buzzword or phrase that these men like to use is they want somebody who doesn't take themselves seriously. I take myself seriously. You can't bully me. You can't, make jokes at my expense and make fun of me and expect me to be okay with that. Absolutely not. And I mean, sure, just because a man says these words or, anything like that doesn't automatically mean he is a horrible person, But I'm just saying it just perks my ears up a little bit and I pay attention a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So as far as you guys, what are some buzzwords that kind of make your ears perk up too when getting to know a man?
I thoroughly enjoyed this video. I think it's so simple and it simplifies what a lot of people in our generation are failing to articulate. There's certain ways in which relationships have been done that just no longer work, and certain things that we have been fed as narratives and ideologies around relationships that really just no longer work. And I think that we're becoming more aware of our worth as women. And I really enjoyed being in the comment section of this video on TikTok. I really encourage you to follow her. I'm going to put a link to her TikTok, a handle somewhere here or right in the description box below. But some of the buzzwords that the other girls were sharing were I don't deserve you. If he says he doesn't deserve you, believe him. Someone else said, there is no point in a partner if you have to stay in survival mode. I totally agreed. Someone else said, being called combative when you hold them accountable, because this is what men who are not serious about a relationship do. When you hold them accountable, they call you combative, they call you aggressive, they call you a lot of different words. Another funny comment was, anything a man says after as a man why you qualifying yourself like that? Another person in the comment section said, my ex would really like that I was independent, and what he really meant was that he liked that he didn't need to help. Someone said, what do you bring to the table is my red flag. Why is a man asking you what you bring to the table? When a man genuinely is authentically interested in you, why would he need to ask you what you're bringing to the table? That man will jump hurdles and jump walls, barricades and blockades for you, I'm telling you. But here's one of the ones that really broke my heart. Someone said in the comment section, submission activates my flight or fight response. And I think this is probably because the way that we have really taken this word and defined it, the way that it's been played out in previous relationships that we have watched as we're growing up is really discouraging. And I think that we really need to, as a generation, figure out a way in which we can unpack this topic of submission in a way that allows us to see God's heart concerning submission, that it wasn't meant to be painful, it wasn't meant to be repressive, it wasn't meant to suppress us as women, but it was meant to be our protection and our covering when it is done beautifully and right. Someone else says, the words, "You're such a hard worker," they are a red flag for me. Another person said, "I'm trying to build," when the person doesn't even have any tools in their hands. They don't even feel as though they're hardworking. You don't even see them as a hardworking individual or classify them as a hardworking individual. Run. Someone in the comments said, when they want a traditional woman. I don't know. What do you think? Another person said, when someone says 50-50, I run. Listen, the girls these days are not playing. The girls these days are not playing at all. And I really liked this one. Someone said in the comments, someone who says, "I'm looking for someone who won't try to change me." Usually when a man, automatically the first time you start talking to him is placing boundaries on this concept of accountability and the fact that they don't want to change, something is strange. Something strange is happening. Investigate that strangeness. And once again, one of the things that broke my heart is, you are a good woman. You are a good woman. Someone said that that was a red flag for them, which is actually quite heartbreaking, because this was meant to be, and this was supposed to be something that people would be proud about, being a good woman. But it has been abused so much that many men will use this phrase when they want to make you a doormat, and they want you to be submissive, and they want you to be docile and quiet. And I find this really painful and strange, because and sad, because we're using things that really God gave us as gifts and blessings, and we're corrupting them by our human nature. And sadly, we're in a space now where just being called a good woman for somebody is a trigger, and they feel like they're a doormat, which is very sad. Prayer governors, I just really wanted to make this one for you singles who have been looking for some relationship advice. I thought this was a really fun video to do. But most importantly, let me know in the comment section, what are some of your red flags? What are some of your... listen, I'm gonna listen to you carefully, because I don't trust what you just said right now. Drop them in the comment section. Let's start a conversation. But most importantly, if I could finish this video with any prayer point, I would say, let us pray for the state of our intimate relationships. There's so much corruption that has taken place over the years in our relationships, and you can tell when you just watch the culture, the city girl culture, very independent, and there's so many ideologies that are coming out of this generation concerning relationships, and many of them are not biblical, and many of them are not at the core and at the heart of what God intended when he designed relationship and community and companionship in the context of a relationship or a marriage. And I just want us to pray for our marriages, and I want us to pray for our relationships, but most importantly, the stories that we've told ourselves about relationships and marriages. And let's ask ourselves, did God breathe on these stories? Did God drop these stories in our hearts and in our minds? Or it was the enemy that dropped these stories that we have believed about relationships in our hearts? Prayer governors, I hope that you enjoyed this one. This is T for Travail, a platform where we have conversations about trending topics and we give them a Christian spin. God bless you. I really am on a roll today. 2 videos. I really am on a roll. And who knows, maybe there's a third one coming. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. God bless you. Cheers.